would like to thank you all for coming out tonight. We like our show because it's a little bit different. We like to keep it really weird. Thank you, all you weirdos, for coming out here to experience some really freaking awesome weirdness. Yeah. We got a really awesome lineup for you guys tonight.
We have music. We have comedy. We have poetry. We have a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
Sketch comedy.
This month's theme is Do You Believe? And every single one of the performers has their own Do You Believe fill in the blank. They will come up, they will perform, we will applaud. Not only will we applaud, since this is Chevy Does Charlotte, we give them a good ooh-shar-shar at the end of every performance. So on the count of 3, let me hear your best ooh-shar-shar. 1, 2, 3. Ooh-shar-shar. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. All right, do you guys believe in having a good time?
To explain that a little bit for you, I once read that if you live your life as a quest, the universe will conspire in your favor. And I thought that was a profound statement, and I believe in that. And I also believe that everybody needs a little bit of help once in a while they're on their quest. So that's kind of what this first song is about. It's called The Calling. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you very much.
Yeah!
Woo! Oh, did I introduce Hannah Finley? This is Hannah Finley. Get up for Hannah Finley. All my life, I've been having so much fun. Of my pie chart pieces, it's the most prominent one. But life ain't that much fun for everyone.
We asked the man to return all that he took. A pencil and a pad, that's all he took. Something ain't right when a writer can't pay for a pen.
And the story was the biggest of the year. Oh, how I wish you could have seen me there. At the center of the circus, I was confident and focused and clear. As I cut their chains and released them from the pack. But of all his friends, he was the only to go back. The chain was easy to break. It ain't easy to believe you're really free. Lord, please send a calling. Call on me. Call on me. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
So a quest. I think it means a lot, a quest to a lot of different people. But I think one thing, as Rob kind of meant with that song, you need help sometimes. And so whenever you need help, it can sometimes be a little lonely. And so you kind of remember that it is lonely on a quest, but you still gotta go for it and figure it out. And so this is a song called Daydreaming about your quest, I guess. Picture perfect afternoons painted in my head. I still remember if you forget. I still remember if you forget. Apologies for me to you. In a perfect world, you're sorry too. Picture perfect afternoons are painted in my head. Ooh.
So we're going to be playing together on November 10th. That's 2 weeks from Saturday at Petra's. If you guys know what that is, Petra's was at Plaza Midwood. And Coma is going to be releasing some new music on that day. I actually brought some CDs tonight, so if anyone's interested, come hit me up and I'll give you a CD. Thank you again. Thanks everybody for coming out. Thanks for having us.
All right, let's give another big round of applause. That was awesome. Very good job. Again, they are releasing some songs on SoundCloud, so make sure you check them out. And also, we need to bring some CDs. I want to get one. All right, so our next performer coming up is Mr. Jonathan Jane. With him, you're about to get the ultimate weirdness. Do you believe in magic, sorcery, fortune telling? Tarot card readings, perhaps? Astrology? Well, I don't know if I do or not either, but Jonathan Jane's going to attempt to make us believe. Let's see it. Come on, weirdo. Let's give him a big round of applause, everybody.
Oh, thank you. I hope everybody heard that. So, one of the most important things I've learned over my 20 years of learning tarot and astrology is that I should never turn down an opportunity for public embarrassment. So here I am. So I brought a little prop with me. This is a tarot card. I don't know, people can't see it, but maybe some of you have seen it before. It's the Fool. Oh, okay. I don't want to be too. I sound so loud up here. This is the Fool. So it's like this goofy-looking guy with a knapsack, and he's walking off a cliff. He's got a little dog with him. Everybody likes dogs. So, and he's walking off this cliff. And so, if you can kind of see, keep this in mind. So this is what I think is so important about divination, tarot, sorcery, things like that. It's something that should be fun. It's something that I think everybody has access to and everybody can experience. Whether or not you're skeptical, I was skeptical when I started doing it, but it's been a really interesting process finding out how strange something as silly and foolish as a deck of cards can be. And it's something that I think everyone should have a shot at, because we live in a society, we live in a world where so much is known around us. Like, there's all these laws of physics and news and constant information everywhere. And I think because we have access to so much of that information, we lose track of the unknown or something that's exciting, or maybe we don't know how everything around us works because we can open up our phones and look through them and be told, this is how the world works. There's a new crisis, there's a new problem. And it can be kind of disempowering at times because it makes you feel very small. I know it does me too. I'll read the news and I go, well, what can I do around me? And so one of the things that tarot cards, sorcery, that can be fun, and those kinds of practices, what they allow you to do is to take some personal control over your life and bring back some of that magic and some of those strange, weird occurrences that everyone enjoys. Maybe when you find $20 in your pocket, or you have a dream about somebody and then they call you, things like that. And so I think it's kind of it's an interesting way of looking at life. It's a different way of looking at things, and it's really exciting. And so I really enjoy it. And I think one of the most important things, because the theme of all this is like, what do you believe in? The funnest thing about these silly little cards, which are actually not silly to me, but they seem silly, they seem foolish. And the fun thing about them is that if you play with them and you just look at them and tell yourself a story using these pictures, you start to see that sometimes that story is true. Sometimes you lay these cards out and they look so magical and strange and weird, and they actually tell you stories about your life. And it's so exciting because to this day, I wouldn't say I believe in tarot. I don't believe in it. What's so bizarre about it is that sometimes it just seems to work. It just seems to tell me really interesting things, and it's made my life a lot more fun. So, what I'd like to do now is, if someone wants to come up and do a quick reading. Who wants to volunteer? You're volunteering? Share in my public embarrassment. Sweet. This is so exciting. I suppose. Where are my other props? What am I supposed to do here?
Do you need another chair?
Have a seat. Who are you?
Haley. Oh, Haley.
Haley, so nice to meet you. Okay. Haley, are you a believer in this kind of stuff? Are you? Oh, so I got an easy target?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So. Mike. Okay. All right, Haley. Hold these while I do this.
So they get free range with the mic, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So Haley, do you have a question or something that you're interested in knowing, or are we just going to go general?
We're just going to go.
Okay, let's just go for it.
That's bad. That's not good.
Oh, I was hoping I got that.
Oh, I love death.
So unfortunately, everybody can't see this, but we have these 3 cards in front of us, and there's like this. I don't know if anyone can see these, but so there's like this woman standing out here, looks very sad with these swords, and
well,
then
she's also bound.
she's bound. Yes.
Like, I mean, I don't know if that's sexual or.
The BDSM themed event is the next one. And then there's this nice looking lady holding a lion's mouth open, which is always fun. And then there's some dude on a horse with a cup in his hand. So, since we're just doing a general reading, here's how these things go. This is what my 20 years of experience does to me. So keeping in mind the whole fool thing and how silly all this should be and how fun it should be, the way that a reading works, I just look and I go, man, I'm gonna go ahead and say, since you're a girl, she's a girl, that's you. Are you sad? So there's these swords, this pictorial representation of somebody who's standing by the ocean, looks like she's about to get executed or something like that.
Yeah.
So all that would tell me is that there's probably something on your mind that you feel like maybe you can't, you don't see a way out of dealing with it. Who knows what that is, but something that's like, I'm thinking about something and I feel like whatever I do, I'm just gonna like, forget it, I'm screwed, right? Yeah, just say yeah, that's right, just go with it. Yeah, oh my God, I've read your entire mind. But the exciting thing is, since we're telling a little story here, it's like there you are again. So there's this woman holding this lion's mouth. So that means like things probably aren't as bad as you think they are. Because so swords are like a mental process. So you're thinking about something and you're mulling it over and you go, man, I can't figure out how to fix this. But luckily, you don't have to, because you have this strength card. So it's like everything will go in your favor. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah. And if it doesn't, call me and I'll straighten it out. And so the last card is like this guy riding this horse with this little cup in his hand. And so that looks like someone's gonna come save you.
It would be better if it was a woman.
Would it? I didn't design the cards, so it's possible that there could be some sexism embedded. It is from the early 20th century after all. But, well, I don't know, who doesn't want to be saved by somebody?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're coming. Somebody is. I don't know, he looks kind of effeminate. Maybe it is a woman. But in general, see, I think that before I finish this up, and thank you, don't move though, stay up here, share my embarrassment. So I think that a lot of people might have misconceptions about like how these things work, and that's why I wanted to keep in mind that whole full card. This could be very insightful, I don't know, and you could be like, I'm full of it, I don't know. I don't usually do these in front of an entire audience of people, so I don't know how it translated. Probably not that well, but the point of it is there we go, that's my guy. So, but the point of it is that it's available to everyone. Like, you can try this and see what happens. You don't have to believe in it. You know, I'm weird, but I'm not that weird. You know, you're not gonna see me in a corner somewhere, you know, like looking down in the darkness. It's there for you to try and tell yourself these stories and then see what happens, experiment with it. And I think you may be as surprised as I was by how effective it is. But I can tell you're floored beyond all belief. Like, you know, I have changed your life. But anyway, thanks guys for indulging me for this short period. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, let's give another big hand for Jonathan and our lovely volunteers. All right, on the count of 3, I want to hear your best ooh-shar-shar. 1, 2, 3, ooh-shar-shar. All right, our next performers are sketch comedy. How many of you guys know what sketch comedy is? Heard of it? Saturday Night Live, all that good stuff? Robot Johnson is Charlotte's longest running sketch comedy group. Not only are they performing for us tonight, but they have their own show on Friday over at the factory. So if you see what you like tonight, make sure to go check them out again on Friday, all right? And they're gonna get a big round of applause for Robot Johnson.
Papa, are you sure there's no monsters under my bed?
I'm sure, son.
Papa, are you sure there's no monsters in my closet?
Son, monsters aren't real. Well, except for that Bush's baked beans dog, Duke. It's a dog, but it speaks the man's tongue. That's the only thing that scares me in this world. All right, son, you sleep tight now.
What the fuck? That's funny. That's what I was about to say. Are you lost or something, Holmes? Nah, I'm exactly where I need to be, unlike some monsters in this room. Newsflash, closet jockey. This here's my human boy, and I'm gonna be the one to feast on a succulent brain meat. Typical bed monster entitlement. You think that just because you crawl around with porno mags and dirty socks and fast food wrappers that you get your cake in the litter when it comes to free-range bedwetters. That's exactly what it means. Everybody knows that bed monsters work twice as hard as any other monster. And believe me, porn mags and dirty socks, that's the least of my worries. I've seen shit under beds that would make a bridge troll vomit. Oh, and they're practically made of vomit. All you have to do is move some clothes aside and then you just pounce on them. Oh, that is rich. Do you know what it's like to stand in a closet for 18 hours straight? It sucks. I got arthritis in all 6 of my knees. Plus, all they have to do is close the closet on us. It is twice as hard for us to stand these kids. You don't seem all that scary, if I'm honest. Actually, I think you might be living in the closet in more ways than one, if you catch my drift. I'm sorry, what is it that you're implying to me right now? Oh, nothing, just that, instead of human children, I think you prefer the taste of goblin dick. That's it! You're going down, Tampa!
What the hell's all that racket?
Roll that beautiful bean footage! All right, you want to go halfsies? Sure. I got the top half. Okay.
So hard not to laugh.
Thank you.
More.
This Friday at the factory, it's Charlotte's newest comedy venue. They do sketch comedy and stand-up, improv. Please go to factorycomedy.com to purchase tickets and check out what's coming there. It's a great time. You guys like to drink, right? Oh man, I should ask you guys to do cocaine. You guys like to do cocaine, right? Yeah. All right. One more. We got one more. Okay, thanks for being available, ladies. For some reason, our other motion capture people, they're unavailable today, so you're really helping us out, okay? Yeah, all right. Great, we just have a series of video games that were animated so you can help us. Okay, that's great, all right. Now, this first one is two brothers, they're driving the car really fast because they're constantly on the run from the local sheriff. Yeah, so we'll get you guys to do a few action physicalities for us. Awesome. Now we're gonna throw you guys some comments, some reactions. Just stay loose and work with it, okay? All right, good.
Try tipping your hat. Now, tip your hat to an attractive lady walking by.
That's good, that's good. Now let's see about a high five.
Now give me a little jump. Oh, that was good. Do a jump and a high five at the same time.
Fantastic. Okay, now I want you to kick your heels this time, right? But hold your hats up high when you do it. That's all right. We got people for that.
That's not. How about we move to like jumping into a car?
Okay.
No, but like jump through the window into the car, through the window, not the door. You know?
Great. Okay, good. Could you ladies give us a horse? It's a tired horse. This horse is very tired. Old and tired horse. Not that old.
I like the younger horse, but I don't like the older horse.
No, older horse has to go. Okay, all right.
Let's go back to buddy cop drama.
All right. Okay, you two, you're gonna kick down a door.
Now go back to back. Yeah.
Like Charlie's Angels. Sexy. Too sexy.
Do more like Bad Boys. Like the camera's spinning around you. Yeah. Just like that. And one of you gets shot.
Good.
And then you run over to your buddy. And then you have no choice but to shoot in the air because of your emotions.
All right, now you stand up. Now you pick up your gun. Then you hear something behind you. You go to raise your gun to find a forgotten shooter who falls to the ground from a gunshot by a partner who is okay and saved your life.
And now you walk away in slow motion. Slow motion. And the building behind you explodes.
Don't look back. Do not look back.
Slow motion.
Too slow.
It's the same as the young horse, old horse thing.
All right. Wow, ladies, I say, great job. That's a wrap for today. You guys did great. You did real good. Thank you. You helped us out so much. Thank you. I gotta say, this is way cheaper than high and all that. Nothing. Thank you, guys. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye, ladies.
Thanks so much. Yeah, we can turn them into male actors in post.
Yeah, penis is so easy to add. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. I got a show Friday night. Yeah, show's at 9, doors at 8:30. You guys have a good night. Thank you so much. Stay weird.
Guys, on the count of 3, let me hear a really good ooh-sha-sha. 1, 2, 3. Ooh-sha-sha. Ooh, that was sexy. I liked it. Again, make sure to go check them out. Check out their website. Our next performer, our next speaker. Do y'all believe in ghosts? Yeah? Well, she is not only the founder, but is also the director of the Charlotte Area Paranormal Society. And she has joined us here this evening to give us a talk about the paranormal. So please put it together for Miss Tina McSwain.
Hey everybody. How's it going? By show of hands, show me if you actually believe in ghosts. Okay, a few of you. Out of those that believe, has anybody ever had an experience that they would call, say, paranormal? Well, I'm here to tell you, I'm a native Charlottean. I live in the hood, and there are such things as ghosts. Charlotte is a very old city, started about 1750s, had one of the United States mints here. So we have a long history of people, deaths, conflict, wars, all the things that you would think would leave a city haunted. Right here in Noda, as a matter of fact. If you've ever walked down Heron, there's a bridge on Heron. In the 50s, someone was riding in the back of a pickup truck. Pickup truck went under that bridge. Person in the back of the pickup truck was standing up and became decapitated. There are many stories that there are strange lights associated around that bridge over on Heron. Another area that is extremely active just outside of Noda is the 1815 Rosedale Plantation. It's right at the end of 36th Street. If you've ever seen those white picket fence looking area, that's Rosedale Plantation. Built in 1815 by a gentleman called Archibald Frew. He actually was a tax collector here in the city. He built the house, actually lost the house due to some financial problems, but his cousin, who is Senator Davidson from the Davidsons and Davidson College, brought it back for him, let him live there. It was then, a couple years later, was bought by a family called Caldwell, Dr. David Caldwell and his wife Harriet. They were probably the longest residents that we know of as far as history is concerned. They were there about 20 or 30 years. Well, their family were responsible for a lot of the, who we believe, spirits that inhabit that particular property. I was on Tryon Street one day, stopped by the train, happened to look over, and I actually saw a lady walking back and forth on the second floor balcony. I watched her for a couple of seconds, and she totally disappeared. I freaked out. So the next week, I went to talk to the staff at the Rosedale Plantation. They told me that I was not alone. They had heard that a lot. Their staff has had situations occur like that. Visitors who go for the historical tours during the day have had things happen. So I thought, well, I'm a ghost hunter. This is kind of the place I want to be. So over the years, we've been going to Rosedale probably about 10 years now. Over the years, I have had numerous things happen. We were there one night in what they call the little girls' room. The house was separated. The little girls lived, of the family lived on one side, little boys lived on the other. Parents stayed down on the main floor. So we were in the little girls' room asking questions, which we call EVP, electronic voice phenomenon. And I said something to the effect of that I was an adult, and that when an adult spoke to a child from that era, they were supposed to answer back. Well, all of a sudden, I heard giggling. And not only did I hear it, but we were running 2 cameras and 2 audio recorders. All 4 pieces of equipment picked up that giggling. There's actually a pretty good YouTube video that was shot by one of the news crews here that contains that clip. That's just one of the things that's happened. Another time, I had gotten out of the car, was standing by my car for just a second, maybe 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I heard footsteps coming up behind me. And I heard a woman's voice go, "Hello." So I turned around, looked, of course nobody's there. And I said hello back. Didn't get any kind of answer. I mentioned Dr. David Caldwell earlier. On 3 separate occasions, I've been standing in the parlor area of the Rosedale home, which is the biggest room on the first floor. Looked to my right, and there stands Dr. Caldwell. Very tall, thin man, wears a hat. I've seen him on 3 occasions. Just in June, we as the Charlotte Area Paranormal Society actually run a public ghost hunt for them. It's part of a fundraiser that we do because they don't get any kind of government funding. So a lot of what they do is they'll hold weddings there, they'll hold functions, they have dinners, and they have ghost hunts. We did one in June. Father's Day weekend. Who would have thought that Father's Day weekend was a big draw for the paranormal? But it is. On a Saturday night, back in this June, we actually got one of the best pictures that we've ever gotten from there. It shows a lady in probably a whitish dress walking across the front lawn of Rosedale. This lady wasn't there. We believe it was probably Louise Hagee Davidson. It was very similar dress to what she is pictured in a photograph inside the home. That is on our Facebook page, which is CAPS, C-A-P-S-N-C, like North Carolina, CAPS NC, if you'd like to check that out. We were very happy to get that photo. We've also gotten a series of photos from about 1 o'clock in the morning with a thermal imaging camera. Now, a thermal imaging camera is primarily used in energy audits. It would show, where cool or hot air would be leaking from your house. Shows pictures in the form of thermal increments. So you can see, like if you were looking at me, you would see that I was about 90 degrees. Outside temperature would be probably 40, 45. And you could see the image in separate colors, almost the colors of a rainbow, but each color corresponds with a temperature. So one night, 1 o'clock in the morning, no one's in the house. We're standing at the back, looking at the windows on the second floor, and we've got this thermal imager pointed up at the house, looking through it to see what we might see, and lo and behold, we see something moving back and forth between those windows. Took some pictures of it, and on further examination, it does look like a lady who is standing there looking out at us at about 1 o'clock in the morning, probably thinking, what are these fools doing at 1 o'clock in the morning in my backyard? So, very haunted. Charlotte itself is haunted. A couple of the restaurants that maybe you've been to, Re-Ra's, 300 East, Alexander Michaels, Cajun Queen, Kennedy's. Used to be Kennedy's over on Caswell. Now somebody else has bought it, but we actually did an investigation there till about 6 o'clock in the morning, spent the night. We saw a small shadow person running across the dining room. We also got a lady's voice that was near the bar area. We were asking a question about, had it ever been a brothel? We had heard that it was. And the lady confirmed, yes, it was a brothel. So plenty of the older houses, Rosedale, a little bit further out of town, Latta Plantation, Hezekiah Alexander House over on Shamrock, which is behind the museum there. Staff have told us that you can hear sometimes a thud, like if someone fell on that second floor, and then they are dragged away. You can actually hear the dragging sounds. So quite the history here in Charlotte. There are uptown, the Dunhill Hotel. Of course, I already said Re-Ra's, it's uptown. There's also the fire station number 4, which is down on 5th Street, is haunted by 2 firemen, both of whom were killed in the line of duty, one in 1929, the other in 1932. The one in 29 was basically backed into by a horse-drawn fire carriage. Horses got a little bit excited, went backwards, pinned the gentleman between the carriage and the wall, and he passed. And then in 32, there was a fireman, Fireman Black was his name. He got a little bit excited, was running toward the pole. Back then they had the pole, in the hole. So he jumped on the pole, hung onto that, slid down the pole, got on the horse-drawn carriage to go fight the fire. Well, Fireman Black, running toward the pole, tripped and fell and went head first down the hole. So therefore landed on that bottom floor and cracked his skull. So unfortunately, he passed. And the two of them haunt fire station number 4 up in Charlotte. There is a brand new 4. This is the old 4 on 5th Street. Also Settlers Cemetery. If you've ever done any of the ghost walks uptown, they'll tell you a story about Settlers Cemetery was a victim of grave robbing. A couple of grave robbers dug up a lady, sold her body to the medical college, which used to be where Founders Hall is now. So sold the body. Needless to say, the lady was a little bit upset about that. So she continues to walk around Founders Hall, and she's even been seen walking around Settlers Cemetery. There's also the back corner of the cemetery is a mass grave from the Revolutionary War. Cornwallis came through Charlotte. It's a couple of minor skirmishes, nothing big like the Battle of Kings Mountain or anything of that nature, cowpens, but they did have some small skirmishes, and Cornwallis did come through. Matter of fact, left right out down Tryon Street. When he was run out by the rebels, he left Charlotte going north, out North Tryon Street. So there are a couple of miscellaneous battles, not really anything associated with the battles that were ghosts, but so many other stories. And then just your time that we've been here, I would have to say that probably Dilworth is one of your more haunted neighborhoods. Myers Park also has a couple of haunted homes, and even Nodoc. Each area of Charlotte has, its own stories to tell. Haunted houses, people that think they have had things happen to them. Some of the, we don't do a lot of graveyards, but there is a pretty scary graveyard. We call it Scary Pete, to be honest, out near Providence Road. Some of the old colonial churches, Shigall Creek Presbyterian was built so many years ago, but we don't really see a lot of activity around the church itself. Most of the activity and the most haunted place here, I would have to say, hands down, is Rosedale Plantation. So if you are interested in going on a public ghost hunt, we are doing an investigation Friday and Saturday next weekend at Rosedale. It's a $15 charge, which goes to the upkeep of the property, restoration efforts. And you'll get to try your hand at some of the ghost hunting that we do. We actually loan out some of our pieces of equipment. And usually, every year, we have somebody come up and say that something happened to them. Either they were touched, or they heard something, or they saw something, or the equipment that they were using that we loaned to them was going off and showing some signs that there was a spirit energy present. So, all right.
All right. So, I'm personally terrified to go to all these places, and I will be there this weekend. It'll be great. I want to hear all kinds of things, and I'm wanting to go on a lot more of these No to Ghost walks now. To be sure, there's some stuff going on in that Revolution Pizza spot. I mean, gotta be, really, honestly. So we're gonna do a quick intermission, about 10 minutes or so, and then we're gonna have a fantastic second half for you guys. We're gonna open up with Sunset Grove. Woo! All right, yeah. They are a young band, and we are really excited to have them. They have really big sound. And then we'll have, Neil and Reese. We've got some dancing from Reese, and we'll have some keyboard action. We've also got some stand-up comedy coming up. We've got a poet and a storyteller. So lots of fun coming up in about 10 minutes. And you guys, there's some beer in the cooler, and have a good time. Thanks for coming out.
To intermission.
Ooh, sha sha! Woo! Yeah! Thank you, Andrew. I appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna get started. We got this awesome second half coming up. Our first band coming up with the opening of the second half is Sunset Grove. And you know, interesting little story about these guys. I met them at the Evening News for open mic night. And you know, these guys are really freaking good. And I believe in them. And I believe in the fact that they're going to rock your freaking socks off. So everybody, let's give a warm welcome to Sunset Grove.
Hey, how's it going tonight? We're super excited to be here, and thanks again for having us, you guys. This is a real honor. So this first song is called Seaset. We hope you enjoy it. Guys. Alright, we got one more for you. This one's called I Can Never Be Without You. There's nothing Love is hard without a doubt. Don't get lost around. Oh, my ever say it's okay, my girl. I'll never leave you. 'Cause now I know for sure it's love. I feel it inside my heart too much. I could never be without you. I could never be without you. I could never be without you. Thank you guys. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great night. God bless.
Guys, keep it going, keep it going, yo! I don't know about y'all, but I certainly believe in rock and roll after hearing that. Now you know what I want to hear on the count of three. I don't need to tell you. 1, 2, 3. There we go. You're learning. You're learning. That means you can keep on coming back. Now, have any of you guys, now Charlotte, obviously, we have a lot of really neat organizations, a lot of really neat, cool artistic groups. We've seen it everywhere, from sketch comedy to comics to ghost hunting. But now we also have the Charlotte Storytellers group. And our next performer is a phenomenal storyteller. And I beg to ask the question, do you believe that diamonds are forever? So please, everybody, give a huge round of applause for Steve.
Thank you. Nobody out here has ever been in the dating scene, have they? No, not at all. In January 1992, I moved to Manhattan. I was 23 years old. And when, you'd think living in New York, a vibrant social scene would be easy to come by. But a funny thing happens when 12 million people decide to live together. They don't really talk to each other. I moved to New York in a long-distance relationship, which did not survive the first 6 months. And after that, I went on a series of dates from a variety of sources. Now, I have a little bit of a problem. I'm kind of a goofball, and I tend to come on a little strong in the beginning, so second dates weren't really my thing. Furthermore, internet dating was just in its infancy, and by that I mean Match.com didn't have pictures. Now, this fact taught me a very important lesson early on, and that is, if in that little drop-down menu where you get to choose your body style, she's chosen athletic, her sport is either the shot put or powerlifting. Despite the risks, I went on many internet dates. There was the one where I was supposed to meet her in the lobby of her office building. Now, I'm a little bit more than 6'2", so in the little profile, I rounded up and called myself 6'3". She, on the other hand, was a bit more than 6'4", and not wanting to come across as some kind of threatening Amazon woman, had also listed herself as 6'3". When we finally met face to face, it was pretty clear that we both had lied. Then there was the date where I was supposed to meet the young lady in a crowded Manhattan bar. I was able to pick her out quickly from the giant mop of curly blonde hair that she had described. And she seemed nice enough, but from the get-go I was picking up on kind of a weird vibe. So we got a couple of drinks and sat down and started talking. And as we were talking, a piece of her hair kept getting caught in the corner of her mouth. And the stickiness of the sambuca she was drinking was only making matters worse. So as we sat there talking, I watched her pull the same tuft of hair out of her mouth no fewer than a dozen times. And she finally snapped and said, "Ah, I hate my hair!" Being a logical person, I said, "Well, you could cut your hair." Her eyes locked onto mine, and stroking her curls like a James Bond victim pets a Siamese cat. She looked at me and softly said, "I could never cut my hair. I love my hair." Check, please. So after many, many dates like that, a friend of mine said to me, "You know, you should meet this friend of mine." Finally, a connection that's more than a series of half-truths on a website. Her name was Laura, and she played on a co-ed ice hockey team with my friend. So I attended one of their games, and afterward he introduced me, and despite the fact that she was a female ice hockey player, I would not have described her as athletic. A couple days later, we had a 2-hour conversation on the phone. We talked about all kinds of things. And at the end of the conversation, we decided to go out to dinner on the coming Saturday. Now, one of the things she mentioned in this conversation was that she'd always wanted a pair of diamond earrings, but had never managed to get her hands on a pair. And the more I thought about this conversation, I sort of kept fixating on this desire. Now, don't get me wrong, I had neither the inclination nor the means to get her a pair of fake, let alone real diamond earrings. But why should we let facts like that get in the way of a good idea? So I thought, you know, maybe I could find her some diamond-shaped earrings, or maybe some playing card earrings with the diamond suit on them, and present them to her at our date on Saturday night. That seemed like a fun thing to try and do. So for the next 2 days at my lunch hour, I went through all the malls of Paramus, New Jersey, searching for something that would fit the bill, and came up absolutely empty. On my way back to the car on Friday after my lunch hour, I decided, you know what, I'm going to stop into one more dollar store and see if they have what I'm looking for. So as I stood there staring at the rack of every shape in the world but diamond earrings, I heard something on the overhead speakers. A light bulb went off above my head and my shopping was done. I bought a very simple pair of round earrings, about an inch, inch and a half in diameter. I went back to my office. When I got to my desk, I dug through my drawers and found the thing I was looking for, and I ran to the copy room. 5 minutes later, I was done. The next day, I picked up Laura, and we drove to the restaurant where I'd made a reservation out at the end of a pier in Weehawken, New Jersey. Now, I know that doesn't sound very nice. But if you know your New York geography, Weehawken is directly across the Hudson River from Manhattan, so every seat in this restaurant was like eating your dinner in a postcard. We had a lovely meal. And as I was paying the check, I thought, you know, the conversation was almost as good as the view. You know, Steve, you may be on your way to a second date here. We got out to the car, and we sat down. I said, you know, I forgot I have something for you. So I reached into the glove compartment. I removed a small box that I'd wrapped plainly in newsprint and drawn a little ribbon on it in red Sharpie. And I handed it to Laura. She smiled, but looked a little uneasy. And she unwrapped the package to reveal the world's very first pair of Neil diamond earrings. That's right. photocopy, reduce, print, glue stick. I thought I had been the most romantic, most clever fellow in the world. And I found out later through our mutual friend that Laura thought it was pretty goofy and, to be honest, a tad creepy. Second date never happened. It's okay. A couple of years later, when I was dating my now wife, we were separated by about 350 miles, and it was still the 90s, and she didn't have email, so I wrote her letters. Lots and lots of letters. And I wrote her about all kinds of sort of really mundane, normal things. I wrote her about what music I was listening to, what my dogs were doing, and what I had for dinner, and what my plans were for the day, and what I did that morning, what I was doing that night. It seemed completely reasonable stuff to send to the woman I was falling for. A couple of years after we got married, we were out for dinner for our anniversary, and she opened her purse and took out a stack of envelopes tied with a ribbon. And I sort of looked closely at the stack and said, oh God, she saved them. She removed the top envelope and removed the letter from the inside and started reading. And as my own words passed over the table into my own ears, all I could think of was, good God, what a goofball I was. Lines like this. I had her pick out a few for you tonight. I'm gonna put my 90s voice on. This morning I'm listening to the 80s channel. So far we've had Stray Cats, Queen, and the Bangles. What will I be treated to next? No shit, I wrote that. The next one. I put up a new clothesline in the backyard this morning, so at least I have a place to hang my sheets. It's a shame that April freshness is only available 1/12 of the year. I guess I'll have to settle for the June variety. What's interesting is that the very same thing that put off a Manhattan hockey player was the thing that caused my wife to fall in love with me. So I guess when it works, it works. My grandfather used to say, if you marry for money, you'll earn every penny. But you look at that a different way. If you change who you are just to be liked and you happen to get away with it, you'll be stuck being that person for the rest of your life. So in the end, it turns out it's not so much about finding the right pair of earrings as much as it is about finding the right pair of ears. Thank you.
All right, let's give him a round of applause. That was really awesome. So do you believe diamonds are forever? I think so. It's nice. All right, so we have another awesome act coming up for you. We've got Reese, who is a wonderful, apparently she's a multitasker and has a number of talents. She'll be dancing for us tonight. I did not even know that Reese danced, by the way. I thought that she was just a left-handed guitar player. But apparently she's going to do a little jig for us, which I'm super, super excited about. And then we've got Neil here, who I've also just met, and he's going to do a little ditty on this keyboard here. Well, duh, but they are wonderful. I met them both out here at the shop, and they are playing often on at the Evening Muse on Monday nights. They do open mic night there sometimes. Reese is our very first repeat performer, actually. She did the original Chevy Does Charlotte, and she opened our last show, actually, for Show and Tell. And so she's going to be in here today doing another one. So they just need just a couple of minutes to set up. Y'all go get a beer if you need one. And we are going to get started in just a couple of minutes.
There's Niagara Falls.
Everybody, let's give it up for Reese and Neil.
How you guys doing tonight?
Great.
I just got one question for you. Do you believe in love? Because I do. Ready?
It's burning down. They're all on. Get it?
Question you were you knew. Would you believe me if I said we're here again? Did you say you're fine? I know you're not. I wanna know if you would give it all you got again.
Answer, I'm not the one to just give up on what was once something I lost. Oh, am I fine? Well, I suppose. What did you say about getting close again? 'Cause all I know is I always do.
You'd be true. No, I would. What about me? You fall in love. Can't you see what's in front of your face? No. But all I know is I always do. I always do. Yes, if I needed you, you know I do for you. But there's a reason I just cannot be with you. I fall in love with you. With you.
Sitting there cold by itself, saying eat me.
Next song, we're gonna bring it down a little bit. It's called Soul Searching, and it's not your typical love song. It's kind of more about like you just feel like you know somebody from a past life, and you just don't really know how to put it into words, but you wish that person could remember, so you guys could have what you had again in your past life.
Quit playing!
There you go.
Yeah, it was.
Imagine it's gonna be somewhere around there. No talking. Yes. God, so cool.
Why do I feel like maybe we've been through this before? Did I see it in a dream? Holding your hand and thinking that it's been there before. A haunting memory. It was another life, I'm sure. I was another somebody, a lost soul, found another paradise. Was that you and me? Was it just another fantasy? I need time. Is your love alive again? I wish I could remember if that was you from long ago. What did we do to make it all possible? I wanna know so I can feel it again. Wish I could remember everything and all my promises. I know we made all in another life. 'Cause I want it all again. I wish you could remember me. Yes, we could use a little old school soul searching. Maybe then you wouldn't have to be so scared to lean on me. It was another life, I'm sure. You said you're scared of holding me back. I'm a rock star and all, but in the end of it, you never made it hard for me to live my reverie. I need time. Is your love alive again? Wish I could remember if I was right and I was in my lane, taking the blood and pleasure and the pain. I wanna know so I can feel it again. Wish you could remember if that was me. Now we're here again, so you would know I had no regret. Maybe you would do it again. I wish you could remember for me. Yes, we could use a little old school soul searching. Maybe then you wouldn't have to be so scared to lean on me. Do you believe your love's alive again? If you don't let go, baby, you won't feel it. And I want you to feel me again. Do you believe your love is alive again? If you don't let go, baby, you won't feel me. No. All over again. All over again. But I can't remember
it going, keep it going!
I think the whole crowd's dead. I need to do a battery change. There's ages. So, it's been very awesome. This is my first one I've ever been with this.
Are you working?
All right, everybody. There we go. On the count of 3, you know what I want to hear. 1, 2, 3. I mean, I believe in love. That just makes me so melty on the inside hearing them sing. They are one of my favorite people to go see, so keep checking them out. They are just absolutely stunning. All right, to change it up just a little bit, this is what I'm now calling Carlos's Comedy Corner. For those of you that have been here before and know of Carlos Valencia, let me hear a little love on that. He has graciously been bringing us all of these incredible comics to showcase that are local, that are here, and that are phenomenal. So please put your hands together for Carlos Valencia and the rest of his crew.
All right. Hey, everybody. How about a hand for everybody who saw it tonight, or you've seen tonight? It's been a fantastic... A hand for Candace too, actually. Yeah, it's been a great night. It's very cool. But am I missing something? Okay, good. All right. No, it was like, I don't... Usually when people approach the stage, when I'm on stage, it's not a good thing. It's people usually angry. I'll tell you, this our theme are, do you believe bigger is better? That's our thing. What do you guys think? Bigger, better? What? What? See, a lot of you, okay, I hear you. A lot of people think bigger is better. I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about this thing. I'll put it this way. My computer that I have now, the laptop that I have now, is probably, without exaggerating, like 500 times bigger than the one I had, the first one. Well, bigger in capacity than the first one I ever got when I was like 16 years old in like 1996, right? Like it's way better, faster, all of that, but it doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel faster, it doesn't feel better because the demands on computers now are so much greater. Right? Like the software and everything, like demands are more and more, so the computers can't catch up. It's the same thing like when you buy a cell phone, right? You got an iPhone 4 and it's all fast when you get it, but then 2 years later they come up with iPhone 5 and 6 and 7 and you can't catch up, right? Like basically, that's my point. It's like you can't catch up. Bigger is not necessarily better because you can't catch up. It's basically, this is the way I would put it, is like every time your penis would grow an inch longer, vaginas grew 2 inches deeper. Right? Yeah, it's like, oh fuck, I can't catch up. My dick just grew up an inch, man. An inch. I have 4 now. I have fucking 4. Still not enough. And I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking 4 inches. It's not a very big penis. Oh, you're right. You're right. So I was having this conversation with my grandma recently. And I'm like, Grandma, 4-inch penis, not very big. And she's like, you're right, Sonny. But this is what you do. If you have a 4-inch penis, you find yourself a Japanese girl. Yeah, because the Japanese girls, they're used to the Japanese dicks. And the Japanese dicks, not very big, small. And this is what I told her. I told her, listen, Grandma, I appreciate the advice, but I don't think I could ever do that. I'm too scared. I'm too scared to have sex with a Japanese woman, all right? And I'll tell you why. It's because, listen, it's hard enough to find a G-spot as it is, let alone trying to find it on a blurry pussy. If you don't get that joke, you need to watch more internet porn. So that's my bigger is better. And this, I'll prove to you that it's inconclusive. I got 2 comics coming up. Both of them are named Andy. One is significantly larger than the other by height. All right? You can find out the other thing later. I'm going to bring the first one up. He's very funny. He's a good friend of mine. I just worked with him about a week ago. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Andy Vanderveer, everybody.
All right. Carlos, thank you very much. Great to be here. Some people tell me I look a little like Daniel Tosh. If he was transitioning into Chewbacca. Tell me I also look like Greg Olson. No. If you found magic mushrooms. Have y'all been in this Porta-John yet?
It smells good.
It smells like pina colada, okay? If Chevy's snatch smells anything like that, then I'm down for that. Yeah, anything like the Porta-John she can bring. Smells great in there. I'm at that uncle stage in life. I got 5 nieces and nephews that are super cool. My brother lives in Alabama. He's got 2 baby girls. In their household, they're not allowed to use the F word, so they don't say fart. They got to say poot or toot. So I'm sitting there with my niece. She's 5. She's like, Uncle Rube, did you toot? I'm like, no, I think that was actually a shart. She's like, what's that? Well, that's when you think you tooted, but you shit your fucking pants. That word. I'm single, so I don't want grocery shopping. People are always giving me advice. They're like, don't go grocery shopping when you're hungry. You're going to buy a bunch of stuff. You're not going to eat it. So I go when I'm stoned, and I eat everything before I pay for it. And I like to use the self-checkout because I can push the Spanish button and really freak people out. So I'm in Harris Teeter, I push the Spanish button, it's like, escanear su tarjeta, or cargo su número del teléfono. People look at me like, damn, I thought Trump was going to build a wall. Believe in love. I believe in love. I also believe in being obsessed with a 21-year-old yoga instructor. That's what happened to me this year. She's from Costa Rica. Yeah, just smoking body. Just hot, just smoking. And she also, her family had a chocolate business. They made chocolate and peanut butter in their house, all right? She's also a really awesome cook. Like, we would take these long, sweaty bus rides, get back to her place, and she served me the most delicious flavored butthole that I have ever eaten. Do you guys believe in eating ass? Do you believe in eating ass? Can I get an amen? All right, good. We're old enough for that. We got one over there. Just raise your hand. I see you in the back, brother. I see you in the back. Yeah, that's good. That's super fun. You got to talk. Yeah. Oh, my nieces and nephews, they're so much fun. We were hanging out watching a football game. We got an Auburn fan in the house. Is that right, War Eagle? Where is he at? Oh, he's left. All right. Watching the football game. We lost track of this 1-year-old. We found her next to an electrical socket with a car key, like trying to stick it in there. Like, close call. She could have cut off the power to the game. Oh, she's fine. She's fine. What else? So I'm a 3rd-generation medical doctor, you guys. My dad's a surgeon. His dad delivered babies. He's dead now. And I specialize in prescribing marijuana. Yeah. I have a license in California. I currently work online through like the computer. I see people on like Skype. In California, they're like, hey, thanks, doctor. Here, they're like, hey, you're a felon. People think marijuana is a gateway drug. Yes, what do y'all think? No. It's a gateway to a great cheeseburger. Yeah. I don't know, it could be a gateway drug. I was hanging out with some comics after a show. We were smoking weed. My buddy's like, hey man, I don't know if you guys want to try something a little stronger, but I've got a virtual reality headset. Oh shit. Mind blown, colorful world inside a 3D comic book. The problem with that drug, because that's going to be a big problem for kids and everything, the come down is really hard, okay? Because I took off that screen and the first thing I saw through weed smoke was an empty strip mall parking lot. It's like, what the fuck? Where am I? Oh, you just bombed at an open mic. That's what happened to you. I gotta go home. It's fucking, yeah. Rough times. What else is going on? Did you guys hear about this recent archaeological discovery? A mummy was dug up, 3,000-year-old Chinese dude, buried with all kinds of stuff for the afterlife. gold, silver, food items, 10 pounds of herbal substance. They're like, hey, that might be marijuana. Scientists were like, hey, let's take a sample of that. We need to test that at the lab. They spent years studying it. What they found was that they're going to need at least another ounce. You're going to need a bigger pizza budget and a new foosball table. Oh, man. I don't know, walking around Noda, it's a cool place, but like I see these like kind of creepy people. I saw this one guy putting off a weird vibe. I was like, man, you're creeping me out. I can see the color of your energy is Amber Alert. I really appreciate this. I had fun, yeah. Do you guys believe in eating ass? All right, there you go. Thanks, fellas.
Andy Vandermeer, everybody. Come on, give him a big hand, Andy Vandermeer. All right, you guys believe pot should be legal?
Yeah.
All right, you better. That's the only reason he was on stage. That's why I high as fuck every single time I see him. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to introduce your next Andy. Not as tall as the first Andy, but just as hilarious. Please welcome to the stage, Mr. Andy Perez, everybody.
Hey!
Thank you for the warm love and reception, everybody. I always like to start off with relatable material, because at some point I know I'm going to lose someone in this audience. I just want to make sure I do one bit of material that we all can agree on, which is fuck I-77. Am I right, guys? Fuck I-77 with its traffic and its construction, its toll lanes. My least favorite place to drive stoned. Least favorite place. Yeah, we're still talking about weed. We're comics. Get the vibe? I try not to drive stoned anymore, but I still do once in a while. The main reason why is that I don't think that I'm not a good driver stoned, but when I drive stoned, I don't stop. And I'm not talking about like stop signs or traffic lights. I ended up in Virginia and didn't know how the fuck I got there. Man, this song's really fucking good. Oh, wow. What? Richmond? I like listening to music stoned. You guys like listening to music stoned? Yeah, what's your favorite music stoned?
I don't remember.
You don't remember. That's the best answer. Someone once said Nickelback and I kicked them in the nuts. Yeah. I like listening to the Halo 2 soundtrack stoned. It's so fucking epic. Just send me away. There's certain movies I can watch stoned. There's certain movies that I cannot watch stoned. I cannot watch Titanic stoned. It gets really depressing at the end, guys. It gets really depressing. I'm not going to spoil. We've all seen Titanic at this point, right? The scene on the ship where the four-string quartet's playing, trying to calm down people. I'm stoned out of my mind thinking, this ship does not need musicians to calm people. This ship needs a stand-up comedian. What do you think the stand-up on the Titanic was telling jokes and the ship was singing? I think it was great to be here, guys. I never performed on a slant before, huh? Is it me or am I dying up here, huh? Captain Smith driving across the Atlantic Ocean, ran into one random iceberg. Where'd he get his driving license? Asia, huh? Asian drivers, am I right, guys, huh? Anyone who's a fan of that, this is 1912. This is a period piece. PC did not exist yet. Asian driver jokes are okay for this bit. Man, this boat's a sausage fest. Where are my women and children at, huh? Huh? Thank you. I'll be all here until I die. Fun times. I'm wearing a Charlotte Hornets jacket. I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan. Originally from New York. Any New Yorkers here?
Yay!
Yeah? From the city?
Yep.
See, I hate talking to people from the city because the conversation, oh, you're from New York, where are you from? Bronx, Brooklyn, Queens, where are you from? I was like, actually, I'm from upstate, I'm from Rochester.
Whoa.
Yeah. So you're from Canada too. Nice to meet you. No, Rochester is in New York, and it's right there on the Great Lakes, right? Yeah, that's Canada. I'm sorry. I can prove to you for a fact that Rochester is in the United States of America. When my parents gave birth to me and they left the hospital, they paid a bill. That joke is called Canada Has Health Insurance. This is like, no, it is. This is supposed to be more liberal area, so let's see if this next joke flies. I've been reading the Bible, guys. Any Bible readers in here? Any Bible readers? Anyone that likes to read the Bible? No one likes to read the Bible anymore. It's boring. We know that story. But the thing is, I don't read the Bible for religious reasons. I've just been fact-checking Fox News. Turns out, yeah, man. Separating families? No, they're not Christian. I'm sorry. I can't wait to see what Donald Trump does for Halloween this year. Remember what he did last year for Halloween? I didn't realize how big our president was in Halloween. He is so rich. He did not open up a haunted house. No, he's richer than that. He opened up a haunted island. Puerto Rico. I can do that joke because my last name is Perez and I'm Cuban. So we were close enough. I'm pretty sure we got hit by that hurricane too. I'm gonna wrap up on this piece of material that I'm trying to remember. It's like I said, I'm a Charlotte Hornets fan. We're glad that the Charlotte Hornets are back. Yeah? Good Charlotte Hornets fans?
yeah.
More people in order than I expected. Congratulations, guys. Normally it's like, Charlotte, who are that? We're still the Bobcats, right? No. Well, we got our name back because New Orleans changed their team name to the Pelicans. Thank God for that. They had a tribute video to our Hugo for thanks for being an awesome mascot. But I think we all can agree that Hugo belongs here in Charlotte. Am I right, guys?
Yeah.
Hugo belongs here in Charlotte. One guy in New Orleans is like, fuck you, Charlotte. Hugo belongs in New Orleans. And I'm like, no, he doesn't, because you were named that Hornet Katrina. Katrina was your hurricane. Hugo was our hurricane. Stick to your own natural disasters. My name is Andy Perez, guys. I had a lot of fun. Thank you so kindly.
Andy Perez, everybody. One more time for Andy Perez. Very funny. Like I said, both Andys, both hilarious. Everybody's been plugging something. I do want to plug next Tuesday at the Evening Muse. There's going to be a comedy show, the All Organic Comedy Show. Yeah, come out to that, 8:30, Tuesday, October 30th. There's going to be a show there. And like I said, you know, bigger is better. It's debatable. I will tell you what I think when bigger is better is when you go out to vote. All right? So if you are registered, go out to vote because that is going to make a fucking difference. So go out, register, vote. A lot of people didn't vote last time, and that's why we're in the mess we're fucking in right now. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having us. Good night, everybody.
All right, we have one more performer, but real quick before that, I need to give out a whole lot of thank yous. First and foremost, a huge thank you to Canvas Tattoo for hosting us. A huge thank you to this entire neighborhood that made this setup so easy. We got here and we're like, wait, this is actually set up and we're good to go. I can't thank you guys enough. You're amazing, you're wonderful. I just want to shower all as much love onto you as I possibly can. A huge thank you to all of our performers. After this last act, please come back on stage so we can get a group photo. And a huge thank you to my co-producer who's going to be announcing their last performer, Miss Amanda McNeil.
Guys, thank you so much for coming out tonight. It means a lot to have all you people out here on a freaking Tuesday. I know it's cold out here, but I would just like to say thank you. And thank you, everyone. Thank you for everyone that helped out. And I would like to introduce the next performer. So this last one is really important. This one's sentimental. We've got Stephen Miko. Miko, come on up. He's going to be performing a poem that he wrote called Tip Chaser. And this poem he performed at Dre Day at Blind Pig. Our friend Andre Harper recently passed away, and he was beloved in this neighborhood. And this poem is written for him and performed for him because we believe in this neighborhood. We believe in this community. And we believe in supporting each other. And we believe in freaking coming out here on a Tuesday night in a tutu and a unicorn horn and freaking mermaid pants and having a blast with our fucking friends. So thank y'all for coming out. And let's show Miko some love right here.
What's going on, everybody?
Hey.
My name's Stephen Miko. I lived in this neighborhood about 7 years. I actually used to live next door. And I've been like, what the fuck's going on over there and stuff? Anyway, I worked at Cabo, I worked at Blind Pig. And what she said about the neighborhood is true. We lost one. We were able to come together in a way that I hadn't seen a neighborhood come together before. My question to you, the theme is believe. Do you believe people can change?
Yes.
You think Trump can change? You think Bill Cosby can change? Sorry, these are bad examples. I love it when you just don't care I love it when you dance like nobody else is there. When it gets hard, don't be afraid. We don't care what them people say. I love it when you don't take no. I love it when you do what you do, cause you just said so. Tell them all go home, we out late. We don't care what them people say. We don't have to be ordinary. I'm gonna make my best mistake. We ain't got the time to be sorry. So baby, be the life of the party. I'm telling you to take your shot. It might be scary. Hearts were built to break. We ain't got the time to be sorry. So baby, be the life of the party. Mary's problem, she drank too much. Balanced bourbon in shot glasses as deep as beakers. Her body was this well-run chemistry set. Always adding Adderall to catch up to daybreak nightmares. Klonopin is quite right for the come down. No stranger to waking up swaddled in strange sheets. The taste of tequila turns morning mouth into a sweatshop. Questions hurled at the black. Where's my phone? Where are my keys? Where's my car? Who's this in the bed with me? Struggling to figure out where misplaced parked car lay and wait for walk of shame. Fantasy see Mary? She's a good time girl, and for her, there's always one more one-way rail to Graceland. One more broken birthday shot to put you back into the body. Her father, he was a coal miner. And the day he graduated from high school, his father before him reached elbow deep into the ice chest, handed him a cold beer next morning, ushered him to the sanctity of his very own blessed black coal pit. Her mother was prom queen, complete with meth-soaked tiara. Some women are born lonely, so she harvested the fingerprints of other women's husbands, kept them deep in her panty line. Temptation can be a family sport. So when Mary lit the fuse to dynamite herself out of Stockholm, West Virginia, it was more jailbreak than exodus. Vowed never again to let eyes settle on cold, gray, destitute West Virginia sky shit. Her heart pumped bass nectar, complete with this insatiable desire to burn free through love, living charred, heart-shaped outlines littering the landscape of life. A good time, girl. But this morning, when Mary woke up, she felt less than the cab fare stash in her lucky bra. She could feel all the alien fingerprints, all the little wicked white lines in her lungs holding her up. She rose up out of Mr. No-Name's glittery love shack. Pointed feet towards a tomorrow previously not thought possible. A morning that then calls with questioning sharks. Where am I? How'd I get here? Where's my keys? Where's my phone? The life. A good time, girl. But when I met Mary, she could only be described as more. She was 7 years sober, cocaine survivor, beautiful. She was clipped, angel feather perfect. I lost myself in the wisdom layered in her smile. See, she is a comeback story, an open-ended ending. And I have loved every one of her broken memories. I trapped her hard as heart's misfortune, locked in the cheek behind my jaw until she could believe again. Listen, people are in no way perfect. So that's why God created love. Mary's problem now, fuck, she smiles too much. She dreams bigger than can be expected. The life of a good time, girl. Come out tonight, come out tonight. There's no one standing in your way. Come out tonight, come out tonight. We don't care what them people say. Like I said, lived for a while, and people think Noda is like buildings and craft beer and beards and tattoos. Noda is people you will never see working their fucking asses off. That's what Noda is. Behind the scenes, cooks, bartenders, bouncers, people who help you have a good time. And so this is, we got any of those folks in the house tonight?
Yeah.
You guys have a drink? This is for the tip chaser, the table jockey. This is for anyone who ever worked 3 to close only to get back up and work another double on burning feet. This is for the bouncers, who double as bartenders. And anyone who ever checked an ID, filled up an ice bin, or broke up a fight all in the same night, but you be careful, because I also wrote this for the drunks. And the beer snobs. Blue moon beer girls, whiskey drinkers, ladies who order moist pussy without flinching, bold souls who hold down shots of Jameson like camels full of cognac. Watch how we get waterlogged fantasies into her barbed wire smile. See how her precision painted neckline disdains you at low tolerance. Virtue is lost somewhere before last call. This is for the vodka-soaked white girl on the makeshift dance floor. She dances like it's the cure for her 3 left feet. We lock eyes. She passionately asks, "Can I touch your hair, handsome?" True story. We live for the jukebox and the idea that the right song might get me laid tonight. So this is for Journey. Yeah, Journey, because street-light people, they never stop believing. This is my job. I wear a smile as friendly as a help wanted sign that says, "You are welcome here." Just trying to fuck the place up too much. The 100 proof playland where sash girls are always just getting married, or turning 21, cornhole is king, and shotgunning a Red Bull before your shift is considered a rite of passage. Listen, I have never once left work without cash. Who that? Or laughing.
Hey.
So this is for your favorite place to get drunk or tattooed.
Yeah.
Remember, we are always willing to call you a cab home.
Hey.
You guys, 1, 2, 3. Moonshine. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight, bearing with us in the cold. There's a roaring fire in the back. If you perform tonight, please come up to the stage so we can get a group photo. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for
You
having
guys rock.
this experience with us. All right, everybody, get over here. There's beers in the cooler if anybody needs one. Should have done hot
These ain't fucking obviously you're right.
Going in one by one.